Hello, teacher. I'm not proficient in using English tenses. Could you teach me?
Of course, I'll guide you through using English tenses with examples.
Thank you so much, teacher.
Let's get started then. Do you know how many tenses there are in English?
I think there are 10 tenses.
There are actually 13 tenses in English. Today, I'll teach you how to use the 10 most common ones. Firstly, the simple present tense. We use the simple present tense to talk about an action that happens at all times in the past, present, and future. For example, I live in America. Yesterday, I lived in America, today as well, and tomorrow I will still live in America.
Is it really that simple, sir?
Exactly, it's straightforward. Can you give me another example?
My example is, the Earth revolves around the sun. In the past, the Earth revolved around the sun. Today it's the same. And in the future, it will still be the same.
You're doing great. Another example is my name is Peter. It's also in the simple present tense because my name was Peter in the past. It is today, and it will be in the future.
I understand. Thank you.
Next, let's move on to the progressive tenses. When we want to talk about an action happening at a specific time, we use progressive tenses. If the action is happening now, we use the present continuous tense. For example, I am teaching English now.
Could you give me some indicators of the present continuous tense?
Certainly, they are often time adverbs like now, right now, at the moment, currently, at present, etc. If the action was happening at a specific time in the past, we use the past continuous tense. For example, at 7 a.m. yesterday, I was having breakfast with my family.
What are the indicators of the past continuous tense, sir?
They are usually time adverbs indicating an exact moment in the past, such as at 3 p.m. yesterday, at this time last week, or phrases like when I met him yesterday.
Then it would be, at this time yesterday, I was listening to music.
Good to hear that. If the action will be happening at a specific time in the future, we use the future continuous tense. For example, at this time tomorrow, I will be waiting for you at the airport. Mary, what will you be doing at this time tomorrow?
I will be learning English at this time tomorrow.
Good job, Mary. Now, let's learn about the simple past tense. We use the simple past tense for actions that happen in the past at a specific time. For example, I met your mom yesterday.
What does at a specific time mean?
It means the sentence specifies when the action occurred, a specific day, week, month, year, century, or decade. Let's take a few more examples, Mary. For instance, I was born in 1990. Or, when I was young, I lived in Canada.
I'm clear now, sir.
Additionally, the simple past tense is used to talk about a past action that was continuous and finished. For example, I worked for him from 2000 to 2005.
Yes, sir.
So now we've learned 5 tenses in English. Mary, do you understand how to use all of them?
Yes, teacher.
Next, we'll learn the present perfect tense. Firstly, the present perfect tense is used for actions that happened in the past, but with no specific time mentioned. For example, I have lost my wallet.
So, if the action happened in the past with a specific time, we use the simple past tense. If it happened in the past without a specific time, we use the present perfect tense. Right, teacher?
Exactly, Mary. Next, the present perfect tense is used for actions that started in the past and continue up to the present moment, often with time expressions like since and for. For example, he has worked here for 5 years.
Therefore, if the action lasted but ended in the past, we use the simple past tense. If it continues up to the present, we use the present perfect tense.
Correct. We also need to note that after for, we use a period of time, while after since, we use a specific point in time. For example, I have lived here since 2000. 2000 is a specific point. Or, I have lived here since I got married. I got married is a clause in the simple past tense.
I got it, sir.
Moreover, the present perfect tense is used with just to talk about actions that happened a short time before the moment of speaking. For example, I have just had dinner. What have you just done, Mary?
I have just called my mother.
The present perfect tense is also used to talk about actions that have happened a few times in the past, often with words like once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, etc. For example, we have met each other twice.
I understand now, sir. Let me give an example. I have met your wife twice. She is very beautiful.
Thank you for your compliment, Mary. The present perfect tense is also used with ever to ask if someone has ever done something before. For example, have you ever worked overseas before?
No, I haven't.
So now we've learned 6 tenses, Mary.
Yes, teacher.
Next, we'll learn about the near future tenses. They are used to talk about actions that are going to happen. For example, she's going to buy a new house. They are also used to predict future events or plans. For example, look at the cloud. I think it's going to rain. Or we are going to start a new project next week.
I got it. How about the simple future tense, teacher?
The simple future tense is often used to describe events or actions that will happen in the future, but not necessarily based on specific plans or decisions. It's often used for spontaneous actions. Suddenly you think of something. For example, I will start doing exercise next week. The simple future tense is also used for promises. For example, I promise I will lend you $1,000.
So, actions using the simple future tense are more likely to happen than those using the near future tenses because they are used for intentions?
Not exactly, Mary. Actions using the near future tenses are more likely to happen because they are used for intentions.
I see, teacher.
Now let's learn about the past perfect and future perfect tenses. The past perfect tense is used for actions that occurred before a specific point in the past. For example, we had met each other before 2020. Or, I had met her before you came here. The other use of the past perfect tense is for actions that extended up to a specific point in the past. For example, until 2000, I had worked for him for 5 years. Or, until you came here, I had worked for him for 5 years.
What about the future perfect tense, sir?
The future perfect tense is used for actions that will be completed before a specific point in the future. For example, don't worry, I will have finished this project before next month. It's also used for actions that will have continued up to a specific point in the future. For example, until next month, I will have been married for 5 years.
Thank you for the insightful lesson, sir. Now I understand how to use these 10 tenses.
You're welcome, Mary. I'm glad you understood the lesson. If you have any questions about the usage of any English tense, or if you'd like any specific English lesson, feel free to comment below, and I'll make videos to explain them to you. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon to stay updated with the latest lessons. I wish you become proficient in English soon.
Of course, sir. Thank you very much. Everyone, let's subscribe to the King English Practice YouTube channel to learn and practice English together.